Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Trail Mix and Nutty Podcast for Nutty Gamers. I am joined by your host, number one hater of fences and builders, Strathfield.
Howdy, howdy.
And your other host, the number one hentai actor in the entire world, Squidly.
Excuse me? Hello. Welcome.
He's known for his tentacles and his love of Japanese women.
You're not wrong.
I'm never wrong. Because I am elite and I have the hottest takes around and I'm never wrong.
You do definitely have the hot takes.
Yep. And for today's podcast episode, I hand it over to the Japanese lover himself. Go ahead, Squid.
Welcome. I'm not as organized as the other guys, but we're going to go straight into it. So, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about was, one of the first thing was, obviously we did talk a little bit about the Switch 2 in the last podcast, but now that it's actually fully out, I wanted to talk a bit more about that. And I've already seen thousands of people already getting their Switch 2 bricked because of using illegal technology, as they call it.
Oh, wait, has that actually happened?
Yes,
yeah.
I've seen thousands of people talking about saying they've already got their Nintendo Switch 2 bricked from using illegal technology, whatever they call it. But yeah,
fucking. My God,
it's crazy that it actually managed to get all the way through to the point where they can sell it and people are signing. And like the thing is that they're reading the terms and conditions and seeing that if you use like this stuff, you're gonna get banned or bricked, whatever they are doing. But pretty much it's
I'm always.
yeah. But pretty much whatever you paid for that thing, it is gone. Bye. See you later, skill issue.
Well, here in the good land of Australia, where our didgeridoo are significantly more, it's like $800 for a console that they can just shut off.
Yeah, I don't know how it managed to get to Australia, and they said, yeah, that's fine, and didn't question the fact that, you know, people could potentially be buying a product that they can't even use because they did something that's a bit, silly. You know, I get that, but it's against the terms and condition. You know, fair enough.
I don't get why they thought it was a good idea to have that feature.
It's Nintendo.
Like,
man.
if I buy my console, I can do it. I can fuck my console if I want to.
I agree with
like
that.
that's fair. I feel it's also like the PlayStation argument. They said you don't own the games; you're just paying to play.
No,
I think if you're not modding it to deliberately access free content from the Nintendo store or whatever would go that far to involve money. Like, if it's just aesthetic things or making the game, more accessible for you for whatever reason, I think it's a bit out of pocket to just brick people's consoles.
I mean, realistically, as long as you aren't affecting other people, like, because this is the same view as modding games.
Yeah, well, that's it.
As long as you don't affect other people and it's confined to you or people that agree to deal with that, like a Minecraft server, who gives a fuck?
Absolutely. That's fair. Like, but even like with like Elden Ring and stuff, if you mod on that, as long as you play offline, like, you're fine. Like, the moment you play online, then that's when you get in trouble. So I don't see why they can't just do that.
It's the same as when what was it, like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, I finished Dark Souls 3. Yeah, I fucking downloaded a cheat client and I just modded levels on because I just wanted to play the story. I didn't give a fuck about leveling.
That's fair enough, though the Dark Souls community might not agree with you, but that's fair enough.
No, they won't agree with me on it. I know they won't. They'll be like, you ruined the spirit of the game, and to that I say, it's my fucking game.
That's what it comes down to, though.
Yeah. They also get upset because you use summons, so I wouldn't really listen to much people.
I didn't use summons in Dark Souls.
I know, but they get upset with you. They get upset with you for using summons because, it helps you. I'm like,
yeah, well, guess who I have on my side, motherfuckers? And I'm talking to the Dark Souls community. I have the creator himself. I don't remember what his name is, but he uses summons. Yes, the feet level.
Yeah, bro literally uses summons as well, and people were like, "Oh, you're not a true Souls player." I'm like, brother, the person who made the game uses summons. Like,
if it wasn't intended to be part of the experience, they wouldn't have added it to the game.
No, I get the Souls elitists being like, no, you're ruining it. And then it's like, yeah, sure, if that's how you want to play. But as long as I'm not affecting you, shut the fuck up.
That's 100% fair. And as a Souls vent, I can endorse people using summons. Like, sure, like going solo for your first run does have that really excitement feeling, but at the same stage, it's like, you know, my first time going through Dark Souls 3, I literally had another person with me, so yeah.
Well, actually, so also going back to the Switch for a second, I just want to talk about their starting lineup of Mario Kart, and that's it.
Yeah.
The majority of the pull for it is ports.
Yeah.
But like, there's other shit as well that just doesn't make sense. Like they've got game chat, and they're marketing it as this big feature. Like it hasn't been on Xbox for 20 years.
I was gonna say, like, it's been there for ages, bro. Chill.
But if you look at like the actual reviews of it, like it has been battered. Like there's still no solution for the stick drift. There's a reduced battery life. The ability for it to what's that thing called? Actually screen share is dog shit. Like it's been pretty heavily criticized, but then you look at like the actual scores these people have given, and it's like, you know, 4 out of 5, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. It's like, yeah, but you've just basted it in the comments, in the actual review, and then given it this objectively warm scoring. Yeah. Like, it's PC Gamer rated it 78 out of 100, and then proceeded to say it's one of the weakest releases of our time.
Wait, 78 out of 100 saying it's shit.
Yeah,
I don't get that, because that's kind of crazy to say that and then go ahead and like say, oh, it was a 78, so like that's a pretty good scoring, and then turn around and say it was horrible.
You know what?
Like,
fuck the Switch. Can
that's
we
a
go
credit
back to the DS, please.
Honestly, that's fair. I don't have my DS anymore. I sold it.
I don't have, well, because this is another point that I've ranted to both of you about. But I recently got the hankering to play Pokemon.
Yes.
And so I started I was gonna buy a Switch to play Pokemon. Like the normal Switch, because it's on sale as well, so it's cheap.
Yeah.
You can't fucking play 90% of Pokemon games.
Yeah.
They don't have backwards compatibility. You dumb fucks at Nintendo, what are you doing?
I mean, when you look at the reviews, like the thing that kicks me off, right?
Yeah.
Part of the review basis is the kickstand has improved. And here's the thing.
Who uses the kickstand on a Switch?
I understand that it's, you know, for people who are, you know, gaming on the go, they're in a situation like a hotel room or something where they don't have a TV to hook up to, whatever. Fine. But how are we praising a game company that's older than I am for building a kickstand correctly when I can go to Kmart, drop $8 and get a kickstand for my phone? Does exactly the same job, probably built better. But we're praising this multi-million-dollar company for getting a kickstand right.
I honestly just don't see why the Switch 2 has happened. Like,
money.
No, but like realistically, when the Xbox like Series X and PS5 came out, it was because we were at the pinnacle of games at that point, and so the hardware had to evolve because like Unreal Engine 5 was coming. With the Switch 2, none of that shit has happened. If anything, it's worse. Like for Nintendo. Because fucking Mario Kart looks the same as it did 5 years ago. I would comment on other games, but there's no other games that have come out with the Switch 2 yet. Like they announced a brand. When was the last time we got a Donkey Kong game? They announced one when they announced the Switch 2. But it's nowhere to be seen. That would have been an epic launch title.
it's literally money. Like that's the only reason they even did it was like, why'd you do this? Money. I like money.
Nintendo, you greedy fucks. Give me my Pokemon games back.
I don't think they will, man. Unfortunately.
I mean, realistically, commercially, from like in my opinion, from a global standpoint, right? Wikipedia reported that in the first 4 days of its release, it sold 3.5 million copies.
Yeah.
To me, commercially, that is not successful.
Wait. That was domestically or commercially?
Globally.
Oh, what the fuck?
Fastest selling console to date, apparently. But like,
wait, it only sold 3 million globally.
3.4 sold. The estimated is 3.5 to 4 million worldwide.
So
that's not a success.
It sold almost as much as Clair Obscura. It sold a little bit more.
That's just a game. Like that's not a whole console.
No, but that's my point. Like, I feel like if you're bringing out a console, you're gonna get more buyers for a console than a game.
Yeah.
Like, prospectively, as an Australian, there are more people in Sydney than there are Switches sold in the world. That's mental.
What have you done? What have you done, Nintendo?
Yeah. That's cool.
What have you done, Bungie?
Yeah. Look at the look at the Xbox when it came out. I was like struggling to find them because it was selling out so much. When the Series X came out, it was.
I literally had to buy it through my phone provider
to
get a hold of
a copy.
Bloody-da.
No. So I'll tell this story. What happened is, because my brother was trying to buy one as well.
Yeah.
So I didn't wake up early enough for the JB sale. He did, and he got a day one Xbox and a day one PS5. And then he went on the EB Games one just for shits and giggles. I didn't get one, but he got another Xbox. So that's how I got my Xbox. I just bought it off him. It was real fun. I miss the days of console expansions. Can't wait for the cylindrical Xbox to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Did you not see that? Did you see the leak?
For like the... Was it like the VR thing?
No. So this was a while ago.
Yeah.
Because this was the leak that also leaked like Doom: The Dark Ages.
Oh, okay, right.
It had leaked plans for a new Xbox coming out 2027 or 2028.
Yeah.
It was a cylinder. It's a cylinder without a disk drive.
Why? That's so weird.
Well, it wasn't a physical item. It was a drawing. So I don't think it was a final design. It was a prototype. I really hope it doesn't happen because it looked ugly as fuck.
True. They did kind of say that about the Series X though as well.
What, that it was ugly?
Yeah.
I might have a controversial take here, but I really don't care what it looks like as long as it works.
Honestly, that's fair. I don't like... Yeah.
I mean, I will... If it gives me, like, triple the performance, who gives a fuck?
Like, I'd rather have the OG, like, cream case PC if it can run hyper-realistic graphics. I really don't give a shit about LED lights, I say as someone who's...
Yeah, but in
PC glows in the dark.
Yeah, that's right. That's fair.
That's a fucking flex.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, I'd rather it work.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, you know what does work? This week's sponsor, Love Honey. Joking. We're not sponsored yet.
But if you'd like to,
Love Honey, hit us up. We will sing your praises in the bedroom.
All right.
Okay.
I guess we'll go straight into the next thing, which myself and Lee were talking about before Strathfield joined. But Death Stranding 2 is now out. and I've seen pretty good stuff about it. It looks pretty funky. I'm excited to play it.
Fucking big up Australia. Finally, in
I
a
know.
video game.
With spiders the size of cats, which I'm not a fan of. Yeah.
Based on that alone, I will not be playing it.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming to my
they are
Discord.
massive, like literally size of cats, and they come after you. So yeah,
Don't
if
they?
you've got arachnophobia, maybe don't.
From
play it.
a screenshot I saw, they come after you in hordes, not like
Yeah.
singularly.
It's like
It's
the video
really
I
bad.
saw. One of the streamers who was playing it said she's got to go into the forest, and there was like maybe 15 to 20 of them at that one instant just chasing her.
Oh.
So there could have been hundreds or more.
Oh, see, I saw a screenshot of him like running, and the camera's like looking behind him, and there's like 100.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just across a mountainside, and I was like, yeah, I'm not touching this game ever, unless there's like a turn off spider mode, which there definitely is not, because
I don't think so, because Kojima doesn't. I don't think he wants. I mean, it's weird because first Death Stranding wasn't specifically a horror, but it definitely had horror aspects to it. So
well,
I feel like he's done the same thing.
Didn't Kojima make fucking the Silent Hill games?
I think so, or he was part of it. One of the two. He was definitely there because he was. There's that PT game that came out that was so bad the developers had to go into therapy. And
Yeah, I was gonna say.
What?
Yeah,
yeah,
PT.
it was so
Have you not heard of PT?
No.
so bad it
so-
traumatized the developers because
so
of how
they-
like horrific it was.
Yeah, so basically, you can't get it. There was a demo that came out on PlayStation, but it was taken off the PlayStation Store. You've probably seen it. It's basically you walk in a hallway, just in like circles, and it's like an infinite hallway thing.
Yeah.
But then there's like you can go into a bathroom and there's a baby in the sink and stuff. It's meant to be related to Silent Hill.
Yeah,
Because
it's part of the
think-
Silent Hill verse.
Yeah, and Norman Reedus was in it.
Yeah, so that's why they added they did add a jump scare of one of the characters into Death Stranding, which scared the shit out of me, and I fell on my chair nearly.
But yeah, the only way to play it is you have to have a PlayStation. I think it's specifically a PlayStation 4 that hasn't been connected to the internet because you cannot play it. They stopped development from memory because
They did.
The developers were getting PTSD and having panic attacks and stuff from how scary the game was.
I have heard some people saying it wasn't that bad, but I mean, somebody saying it's not that bad, they're probably pretty used to horror. But
Well,
for someone like myself who's not very good with it, I wouldn't do very well.
There's different levels because it's like as well. Do you remember what was it called? Callisto Protocol?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Dark Souls, the Dead Space
Dying,
ripoff.
Dead Space. Yeah, like the not Dead
Yeah.
Space. Dead Space. Yeah.
No, it was made by the guys who made Dead Space. Like the
Yeah.
creator brought the studio back together, made a new studio to make it. They during development, they splashed real blood around a room and just watched it rot to get rotting effects. And it's like that's like psychotic.
Well,
Really?
You say
You
that.
think so?
A
Interesting
little
to
bit.
say that. The necromorphs you see in the Dead Space trilogy are based off of real
cars.
crash vehicles. Yes.
Yeah,
So that's why they
fucking
look so
disturbing.
mangled, because they are actually dead people who had mangled in a car crash. So they wanted to make, which I mean, if you think about it from their perspective, they wanted to make it as grotesque and disturbing as possible. So they thought, let's get permission to, take pictures of dead people and then make
Wait,
that
did they
into
get permission? I heard they got sued. Over
Did they?
it.
I don't know. I'm assuming they got permission because I feel like that would be very illegal to take pictures of someone dead.
Hold on. Because I understand that people think that there's this magical line that's too far, but I don't understand how we can sit and criticize that, but then have games like Mortal Kombat in which the developers actively investigate accidental deaths and things like that, and it's one of the most popular video game franchises on the planet.
Oh no, the fucking fatalities in Mortal Kombat are very fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fighting aspect I can understand, but the brutality aspect is a bit fucked, if I'm being honest.
It does make me feel a bit queasy when I look at it, but I wasn't so much like criticizing. I just think it's interesting that they wanted to go for more realistic, so they did that, which is something that I don't think a lot of people do. And I mean, like, the fact that they did the same thing with the blood is not unnormal, I guess, for them, because they've done it before with something else. So it's weird, but you know.
Hold on, I'm looking up to see if Dead Space got in trouble for the burn victims
I wouldn't.
thing.
I mean, I'm assuming if they didn't actually get proper, permissions or whatever they did, they probably might have. But then the game still went ahead and they still did a remaster of the game. So, I mean, if they got in trouble, they didn't get in much trouble.
Oh, no,
But definitely,
hold on.
Yeah.
So they didn't get in trouble for it, like legal trouble. People were just displeased. I think that's wrong.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Apparently there's a PT Easter egg in Death Stranding.
There is, and it terrified me.
Oh,
So,
I haven't seen it. What is it?
I don't know. I won't say too much for spoilers in case anybody wants to play it, but when you go back to your room, there is a couple interactions that can happen that cue a cutscene. So one of the things is you can have a shower, and then you can have a shower, and it gives you some buffs and stuff. But so when you get up to go to shower, there'll be a outline of a woman, and the reason people got jump scared by is in a previous scene before there was an actual person in there who you have a conversation with, so people think that they're back again, and then as you get closer it starts to violently shake, and then it just bursts out from the behind the glass, and it was very violent and very aggressive, and I wasn't expecting it, and I audibly screamed and nearly fell out of my chair because it scared the crap out of me.
See, this is why we should get an office where we can sit in the corner together, so we can witness Squid jump out of his chair.
You know what? If we got an office for this, that's it. Life made. But I mean,
yes.
I low-key think, like, I understand that like PlayStation Network clearly removed it for a reason and classification and all that shit. But at the same time, like, if people want to play a game, they should just be able to play it. Like, I just don't understand, because they're still, like, Silent Hill F has been refused classification in Australia and removed from the classification database. And then South Park, which I think we've previously touched on, the Stick of Truth, I think it was banned as well.
Yeah.
Was that the first
And then when
one?
when they released it, they cut out scenes.
Yeah.
But it was like stuff that had been in the series.
I'd be interesting to talk to someone who does, like, or the people who decide ratings for video games, just to see and pick their brain on, okay, what is too far? Like, where's the line that says
where
you
is the
cannot
line?
release this? Because I mean,
you know what?
we touched on that game that got removed from Steam. The one that I can't say the word because we will be removed
Banned.
from YouTube. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like, that game obviously you cannot put that on the internet. That's just wrong.
Yeah, that's a fair enough, like, reason to remove a game. I get like that. I get that, but
I just want to know where the line is, especially for, like, a horror game. Because in my mind, I feel like Dead Space and Callisto Protocol pushed that line a little bit.
I think they did, but
not for the horror, but for the gore aspect. Like, it was very, very gory.
It is, especially when the only way to properly kill a necromorph is to basically sever off multiple amounts of its limbs, and even then it can still continue to come after you until you do enough dismemberment to the point where it's like, okay, well, this is I can't do anything more than it dies. But until that point, it will just keep coming after you.
I mean, especially because I actually haven't played any of the Dead Space games, which I was gonna do on stream. But I think it's the second one. They have the babies.
Yes.
Yes.
So that was very controversial. But the fact that you can basically go around and essentially use your melee button on them, which does a very specific attack, which is normally used to injure downed enemies, but you can use that on the children. And
that's fucked up.
They got away with it because it was technically considered to be like, it's the same as just sort of a transition, but it's the same as Dying Light 1. Originally, you were able to put the baby to sleep.
Babies in Dying Light. I forgot about that. Oh my god.
There was a screamer type enemy, which is the baby child, and you were able to put the child to sleep very aggressively before they changed it to you soothe it to sleep. But before that, you did something very graphic to the child. And,
I remember. I forgot those babies existed in Dying Light.
You know what's funny though? They said that, but you can still get a shotgun and blast in the face though. So I don't see why they changed it if you can still use guns. So that makes no difference to me. But they're like, let's make it like this so it's more appropriate. But then but you can still use a shotgun.
Well, there's also another thing of like talking about like this with the rating of babies being in games and like kids
being put to sleep,
because kids in video games are always a really sensitive topic.
I think it's best if they do it like Fallout and Skyrim and stuff, where it's just the children are immortal and you can't do anything to them, and they just run away
do
from
the Dark Souls thing and just not include it.
Yeah, like if you're going to include it for like world building and ambience, because it does make it look pretty cool if there's characters in the game like they have children and stuff, just make them a non-damageable entity and then they just dip, and that way nobody gets upset because
because those games obviously got high R rating.
Yeah, definitely because of that aspect.
In that case, does something like GTA 5 deserve the R18 rating? Because I don't think it does. I think it's an MA game.
I believe the R, as far as this is what I know and understand, the reason why I got an R18 is for a couple reasons, but because there is explicit scenes with women.
Strippers.
So I think that instantly goes to our R18 if there's any coitus, if you will, sex scenes. I believe that gets the R18 regardless.
Let's be politically correct here. It's called boinking.
Boinking, yes. So I think that's the only reason why, in my mind, I believe it gets an R18 is because of that. Well, and a few other things as well, mind you, but I think that's one of the big ones anyway.
It was one of the big reasons why Cyberpunk received the rating it did.
Yeah, I think those type of games will always get an R18 because of that aspect.
Also,
it was that drug use and strong themes.
Well, the other thing with Cyberpunk is they let you customize the penis, and you never get to whip it out. I mean, hashtag free the peen.
I just love the fact that it's like an RPG game with such an immersive story. I can't use my willy. This is bad.
No, but it's just like you let me customize the length and the hairstyle and whether it's a hole or a pole.
I get that.
You don't let me whip it out in public. Come on, man.
Well, mostly because, I mean, like, they could have just done it like you get in trouble. Like, if you do it, you get a fine like you would in real life. Like, you get either a fine or you'd spend the night in the courthouse if you decide to do something like that.
Yeah, but still, free the pain.
Okay.
Hashtag 2025, free the pain.
Free the pain.
Yeah.
Also, something else I did see as well, which I don't know if you had seen, but Dying Light 1 is getting a content update. I think it's getting a whole bunch of stuff remastered. I don't think the game's getting remastered, but there's a whole stuff getting updated as well. I think some story stuff as well.
So it's getting a partial remaster?
I don't know what is. I just know that some stories are getting some missions are getting remastered, I believe, and as well as they're dropping a whole bunch of stuff in the game to make it better, I guess. I guess with the whole stuff coming out with the new the Beast coming out, they want to start driving hype for it because obviously the first game involved Kyle Crane, and then the new game involves him as well. So they want to bring.
That's real weird because I feel like you should just put new content into your sequel game.
I think my mind is they're just trying to drive more hype for the new game by making the game that people really liked about that character. So people are like, oh, I can't wait to play this new game about this character I really like. That's my assumption anyway.
Oh, that's right, because the Beast comes out sort of soon.
It does, yes, and it involves my boy Kyle again, or Crane. And
Dying Light 2 did so bad that they reverted the first game's ending. I still don't get that, because isn't the canonical... Because the DLC ends with him setting the nuke off.
Well, you can do both endings.
Oh,
There's
wait,
two endings.
That's not the canonical ending. The canonical ending is him turning into a volatile.
Yes, because obviously the Beast confirms that. Though I believe if you play the second game, it does say something at the start of the game that the nuke was set off. I don't know if it's been a while since I've played it, so I don't know if that's true or not. But I almost feel like they've kind of double backed on themselves, saying two different things. But yeah, obviously the canonical ending is going with the Night Mother and getting infected. Spoilers, by the way.
The game came out like fucking 15 years ago. Who gives a fuck about spoilers? Hey, spoiler alert! Dying Light is about zombies.
Crazy.
Yep.
But I don't know if you've seen any of the gameplay of it, but it looks pretty funky. Like my boy Crane is he's on the juice because man got hit by a thug with a giant crowbar cement thing, and bro just caught that like it was made of foam. I'm like, damn, that bro's out here just on the juice.
I think what they're trying to do with the new one is they want the movement aspect from the second game with all the parachuting and whatnot, but they don't want to give us all the abilities from the second game, so they're just being like, here's Superman now, go ahead.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that, because in the second game it almost feels like they're trying to lead more into the infected thing, where you can be infected and then have that ability to just fly through the air and be stronger. So I feel like that was partially as well what they wanted to lead towards.
I'm still of the opinion Dying Light 2 was a massive letdown.
I mean, yeah, look, compared to the first game, it is. I like 2. I do think it's a great game, but if you said what do I prefer 1. 1 was just better and it had a lot more aspects. There were some things in 2 I prefer, but generally, yeah, 1 was a lot more successful than 2.
Yeah, I mean, 2 also promised a lot more and didn't deliver on it, like how it said, like the whole map would change based on your decisions. But as far as I'm aware, that never really happens.
No. That's, yeah. There was also something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, right. I don't know. It's hard to say if it was confirmed or not, but the Cyberpunk 2.
Oh, no, that's happening.
Yes.
I know it's happening.
Confirmed.
They've also mentioned another city, so I think there'll still be Night City, I'm guessing, and there'll also be another explorable city as well, I believe. So
I'd be very surprised if they don't have Night City in the game, because that's kind of the entire focus of Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Because I think one of the things that I was interested in the lore was the kind of like the very subtle lore of what's outside, because obviously I think it's talked about a little bit, but I don't think they go into heavy detail. But like
I would like you to take a seat, because it's my classroom, and I actually have a lore book on this.
Yeah. I still have to play the DLC, mind you. So
hold on. Before you say anything, I know what's outside Night City. It's grass.
Probably not, actually.
Well, I can dream, so go touch some fucking grass.
I did earlier today.
Absolutely not.
Anyway, go ahead.
So Chicago, Phoenix are both still cities. It talks about us actually where was it? Seattle-ish? ? In the introduction. The new game is set in like Chicago gone wrong. So we are getting like a whole second new city. And given the distance between that and Night City, it'll be really interesting to see like how that plays out.
Well, here's
It'll be
my
pretty
question. Would it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they're gonna do full Night City and then like a full Chicago, so you have like double the amount of map, or do you think that they'll
No.
half Night City and then half of the other half would be like Chicago? So it'd be two halves make a full map.
I hope that they just focus on the one city. I think going too big gives you the same problem that Starfield has, where it's like you've got this huge world, but it feels like kind of empty, and that's something that the director, not the director, Mike Pondsmith, the creator, has said like they are implementing what they consider the most realistic and reactive crowd system in any game.
I hope so, because like even though I'm a big critic of Cyberpunk, like I never felt like the city was alive very much. Like, and I remember a lot of people said that at launch as well.
I mean,
but yeah,
that's
you two,
wild.
I don't know. I also kind of only did the Pan Am storyline and the main story.
Yeah. I'll be honest. As a big explorer, I felt the world very lived in. I didn't find it very. I felt like there was a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, I am biased, so bear in that in mind that I will say that the game is a masterpiece.
At some point, I have to go back and redo Cyberpunk, like from the.
I would suggest doing it because of the stuff I've heard, mostly from Strath. What she's told me is just a lot of very like S tier content that they've brought back to the game, and I already thought the game was S tier already. So having it come like they're going to be like SS tier, which would be exciting.
So they completely revamped the like stat abilities and the feat trees and things like that about
feet?
I want to say 6 to 9 months ago. So the whole game feels so different. The traffic collision system was completely replaced. The police system completely replaced. They're even releasing another update. It was supposed to drop today, but it has been delayed.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, but like I cannot recommend this game enough. And maybe I have a bit of rose-colored glasses because I never experienced any of the release day issues that everyone else did.
Yeah.
I have seen them, like my housemate also bought it day one, had multiple issues. But across PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, I've never had any issues, and I just can't recommend it highly enough.
That's fair enough. I feel like I'm a bit with it. I can say this, but as someone who did experience quite a lot of the day one issues, with a lot of bugs and a lot of crashes, I still would say it would be my top 5 from day one, even with all those issues.
For sure.
Like I think the idea behind people saying it's a bad game because of the bugs and issues is, I get that, but when you look past those issues, because it's the same thing with The Witcher 3, it also had a lot of issues as well, and The Witcher 3 has also been voted as one of the best RPGs that came out in the last decade or so. So, it has issues, but if the issues can be overweighed by the story and the world, I feel like that's kind of like, well, you can just deal with the bugs and that if the story and the campaign's so good, That's my take anyway.
Well, as someone who experienced bugs months later and had to redo the intro 4 fucking times, it kind of soured the experience.
I mean, that's I get that. That's fair.
I mean, I did the intro 4 times for fun.
I did the intro 4 times because I wanted to play the game.
Speaking of the devil, just real quick before I forget. Oh, you recall how we were saying we never got a Donkey Kong game? Comes out in July.
No, what I was saying was, why the fuck wasn't the Donkey Kong game the launch title?
Yes,
like,
good.
My point was, we haven't got a Donkey Kong game in like years. and they announce a new one, and they don't make it the goddamn launch title. It's like
I don't
fucking.
get that. Really.
That's like saying, "Hey, there's a new Mario game coming up. We're gonna release our console 3 months early." Instead of just waiting like a little bit.
No, I get that for 100%. We actually talked about a lot more things I thought we would. So, the other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about, which I know we haven't really touched on it, but the Mind's Eye. I don't know if you guys have seen much of that, but it kind of
Rip.
didn't come out
dude,
what they expected to be.
I haven't seen much on the game, but I don't think I've seen a single positive.
No, so I did a bit of research for it, and a lot of people have made jokes about it being like Cyberpunk, but I will say that people did defend Cyberpunk and said, true, it might have been a pretty shitty day one release, but at least Cyberpunk had a good story. The game, from what I've heard, the story makes no sense, and it doesn't end with a good ending that makes sense, from what I've heard. And then it's just like things like NPCs getting into conversations with you and then just stopping, and then now you're bugged out of that quest. You got to reload a save because the NPC decided it didn't want to talk to you anymore, and now you have to start again.
So
it's like, okay,
is it a single player game or is it what?
I think it's meant to be like GTA, so it's meant to be like whatever GTA is. I don't know if it has it online. As far as I know, it's a single player game, or at least I think so.
Is a single player game.
Just some of the things like they made a point of when a car crashes, and NPCs will just stand there looking at the car crashing, burning to death because they won't run away. And it's like, well, this is a game that was meant to be the GTA killer, and GTA having the pedestrians run if you get within 5 meters of them, and they're like, "Oh, you're coming towards me, the car? Cool, that's cool."
Cool.
So basically, it's GTA, but Cyberpunk on day one.
Also, bear in mind that the developers from Mind's Eye are ex-GTA, so it's not like they're random people that have no idea what they're doing. They know what they're doing, or at least they should. And
holy shit!
You good?
I got $75 off an AMS2 unit coupon. Yay!
Very nice.
Oh,
you.
I've never seen. Sorry.
Do you either of you know what that means? I assume not.
No.
But so it's a 3D printing thing. Bamboo Lab are having a 3-year anniversary sale.
Yeah, nice.
And if you've ever seen a Bamboo Lab printer, it has like this unit. You can buy a little unit to sit above it.
Yep.
And it basically, it holds 4 filament spools, and when one runs out, it can feed another one in automatically.
Right.
So you don't use the print. It can also switch between colors because you can have different colors, so you get multicolored prints.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And they recently released the second AMS, which is just like upgrade to the first one, and it's like $600.
You got 75% off.
No, $75 off.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, damn, bro's out here. Like, what kind of luck you got, man? Definitely go and get the lotto. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, dude, no. If I got 75% off, I would buy that thing instantly. Because I am looking at buying a new, bigger printer from them.
I mean, $75 is still a lot of money off. Like,
no, it's still a lot off, especially because like there's I've talked about it before, but there's this thing called Maker World, which is like their own like file database where you can upload files, and when you upload files and get downloads, you get points, and you can turn those points into coupons, which is real money to buy stuff, and people like will use those coupons and just buy an entire printer off of coupons. It's kind of crazy.
That is very crazy. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, continue what you were saying. Before I nodded.
I've never seen so many bad reviews on a game. Like, I don't know if you read this, but even the one of the CEOs made a claim in a Q&A that this was part of like this targeted attack on the studio.
Of course he would.
And then like IO Interactive, which was like their parent company, turned around and was like, I don't know what's wrong with him, but we don't actually think this, and please feel free to have opinions.
Yeah,
I mean,
So,
realistically, they just made a shit game.
That's the thing. Like, there's been a few devs out there that have like said, "Oh, people are making an example out of us or whatever," and they're just targeting us. Like, no, bro, you just made a dog water game and then got mad because you sunk millions of dollars into it and it didn't work because you didn't do much research on what's good.
Oh, what was that game that came out where it was like really, really good, and then all the it was Baldur's Gate 3. Like that came out, and all like the Ubisoft devs were just fucking roasting it on Twitter, saying how shit it was.
Yeah, but are we going to really believe anything Ubisoft says though?
No, but I'm saying it's like the same thing. It's like game comes out, dev doesn't like that other game is successful, shits on it.
I mean, like, I didn't realize that. One, I knew that obviously Expedition 333 was it, but I didn't realize that Stray was also ex-Ubisoft. But I feel like they're both two games. I know people didn't play much of Stray, but it did get nominated for Game of the Year. And for a little game about running around as a cat doing stuff,
dude,
it's kind of
awesome.
big. I know, but a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just a cat game." I'm like, it is, but for a game that's just about you running around as a cat, it had a really immersive and touching story. So, the fact that Ubisoft is currently 0 for 2 with letting devs go is kind of telling of what they do as a developer.
So I mean, realistically, like, you can't say, "Oh, it's just a game about cats." People love stuff that's different. Look at what's that story? It Takes Two.
Yeah.
You spend the entire game as a sock person.
Yeah.
Splitgate.
You got Game of the Year, didn't it? One of the years.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, right.
It did.
I didn't know that.
2 won Game of the Year.
I think it was like 2015, 2016 when it came out.
2016, because 2015 was Overwatch, which didn't fucking deserve it.
No.
Wait, I actually didn't play it until recently, but I enjoyed the shit out of it.
I agree, though. Like, the very odd games that are different are sometimes the better games, and I have done, I think, maybe 5 or 6 playthroughs of Stray in the state.
It Takes Two was 2021.
Oh damn, that was a lot closer than I thought it would be.
That was real recent. Does
anyone else feel aged with that comment?
I do feel old, don't worry.
I'm still looking at this, like, The Last of Us Part 2 won over Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, I don't... Look, I'm going to be 100% honest and say something pretty controversial, but I think there's been a couple years where Sony exclusive have won, and I think Sony is just like, hey, we're going to win Game of the Year. Like, we're going to make sure we're going to get Game of the Year. And
you mean like Astrobot winning the fucker?
Yeah. I was literally about to say, how did Astrobot win?
Because they paid millions of dollars and they said, let us win. And they did.
I will say, like, my reaction at the time was, what the fuck, Black Myth? Hello? Yeah. After watching Astrobot gameplay, and I saw the entire game through, it isn't as bad as I thought it was, but Black Myth is still better.
I don't think Black Myth was the game that I wanted to win last year, though.
Well, it was out of Black Myth, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Astrobot, I think it was Metaphor.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it was those.
You know what?
Wasn't it? Oh, that Shadow of the Erd Tree was the year before, wasn't it?
No, that was
no, Final Fantasy Rebirth. That was the one that, like, if they were gonna give it to anything, like, I would have copped that. Controversial, maybe I would have copped Elden Ring. But like, Astrobot I didn't even know it was a thing until they were like, Game of the Year, Astrobot.
Listen, man.
What?
Space Marine 2 should have won.
I like Space Marine 2 a lot, but I don't think I don't know. It's hard to say because
I'm joking. It doesn't deserve Game of the Year.
It doesn't have
a great game.
It doesn't have the following though. Like, as much as I enjoy the game, it is very polarizing to the gamer community at large because of the content that's in it. Like when you got the little floating baby sacrifices.
Yeah, people
are. That's different.
The world of 40k is very dark, though, and a
Well,
lot of
for
people don't
one,
understand.
they're not babies. They're cherubs.
I said what I said.
And two, like,
Yeah.
But that's what I mean.
Yeah, but
You know that as someone who's into it.
Yeah, but they're clone vat babies that were never alive to begin with.
I don't know that.
No one knows.
That's what
that.
I mean, though. As like someone who's not sunk deep into the lore and stuff like that, I would play that game and did play that game and was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, no, I can understand that, and I do think that. Oh, my delivery's here. I'll be back. Hold down the fort, fellas.
Also, my mind's kind of gone blank. Did Phantom Liberty win Game of the Year?
No. No, it didn't.
I thought it did. Never mind.
No, because it came out last year.
Did it?
I believe so.
September
on, let's-
23.
Yeah.
We're 25 now.
Far out. Time is just going, isn't it?
It is nearly July 25. It's crazy.
I hate that. Game Awards. Best ongoing game. It wasn't even nominated for Game of the Year.
Really?
Yeah, it was nominated for Best Narrative, Best Player's Voice, and Best Performance.
Yeah.
It won
I'm
Best
back,
Ongoing.
Yeah. I mean, it had a lot to go up against because it was going up against Baldur's Gate as well. So it was.
Which, I mean, 100% deserved it.
Yeah. It was a hard thing. Like, I feel as well, and I know a lot of people don't like Red Op. I wouldn't say they don't like it, but I know a lot of people have an opinion that God of War was better. I mean, that's fair enough. Like, I know people love God of War. I feel like that was a very close Game of the Year as well. I feel like a lot of people. I was in the mind that Red Dead should have won, but you know, I'm a bit biased as well, though. So,
like, there are going to be years where it is very hard picking a winner, and I feel like it's almost every second year.
This year's going to be.
We
hard.
have killer games on killer games, and then there's just a plateau the next year, and it's like.
Good. What games came out this year that you think are going to be Game of the Year?
So they've got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Expedition 33, Ghosts of Yotai. I know people aren't a big fan of that, but
is that out?
It's coming out this year. I'm pretty sure.
Like it was coming out next year.
Oh, if it's coming out, maybe it's not coming out this year. I'm not sure, but
okay.
I'm assuming that the remake. I don't know if it would, but a lot of people are saying that the remake for the Switch 2 of Breath of the Wild could potentially.
It has sold more copies than Claire Obscure since it was released with the Switch 2.
It has, and that's another one that could be up there as well. As much as people don't like it, I will say that a lot of people have also said under the same opinion that Doom Dark Ages would at least be nominated for something.
I feel like Doom the Dark Ages will be nominated for music at best. It's not getting Game of the Year.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's up there because a lot of people did like it, but I feel like it's the same thing as like the Breath of the Wild being remade. It's just kind of people doing it because they like the game. But the main things is like the main ones I can see is like Claire Obscure, Expedition 33, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I guess you could say Night Rain. I know a lot of people are liking Night Rain, so I wouldn't be surprised seeing Night Rain in up there. I don't think it would get Game of the Year, but I definitely think it'll be nominated because it's sold a lot of copies as well.
As the only one here who has played Night Rain, I can tell you right now, it's not going to get Game of the Year. It's not.
I've played Night Rain
for it. You've played it?
Yeah, I've got like 10 hours on the game. 10, 15 hours.
What the fuck, Squid? I would have played it with you.
You know what, though? That is telling enough. The fact that you only have 10 hours in that game says everything I need to know about it.
I've only played it once, though.
You played it once for 10 hours straight?
No, I just had the game running in the background because I was playing with Well, actually, no, I played a few times, actually. I tell a lie. I've played like 3 or 4 times. Actually, how many hours do I have?
Okay, well, as someone
8.5 hours, I tell a lie.
As someone who's only played it through matchmaking, I can tell you it's a travesty out here.
Yeah, look, I'm still going to say it's going to be up there. I don't think it will get the Game of the Year, but I definitely think it will be in the selection. I know some people don't like it, but they've sold enough copies for it to be at least somewhere there, whether it be like nominated for something.
It'll probably be nominated just because it's Elden Ring.
Probably, like I think it was definitely sold because it's Elden Ring, but yeah, a lot of the hardcore Souls fans will disagree with that statement and say it's the best game that came out. But
well, as we have established, the Souls fans can suck my cock.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get Game of the Year. I mean, we might be wrong. It might. It'd be hilarious if we did.
Mother no. Mother no.
But I think from. Sorry, go ahead.
Mother no what?
Mother no, don't say bet.
Bet.
Well, those are my things. Is like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Expedition 33. I don't really know what other ones have come out recently that would be up there, but those are two main ones that I've seen.
I think. Hold on. Let me just check my Steam history.
Was there a new Final Fantasy game that came out as well?
No, that was last year.
I'm still
Sorry,
like,
Sorry, go ahead.
The only game that I can think of being up there for Game of the Year from this year is Clair Obscura. I'm trying to think of what else came out this year. You know what'll be there? Destiny 2: The Edge of Fate.
Wouldn't it be funny if it won Game of the Year?
Listen, Edge of Fate will not be anywhere near Game of the Year. If anything, it'll be Destiny 2 for community support.
Imagine if it got best ongoing game though.
I think it did win recently. Like in the last few years, it did win that award.
Probably did. Well,
but we will lose to fucking Fortnite.
Well, I mean, Fortnite's pretty big, but like, here's the thing though: is like Destiny. As long as I know people hate it, it probably has got.
Oh, fucking Borderlands 4 will be there.
Oh yes, Borderlands 4 definitely.
June Awakening, Stellar Blade. For indie games, I think The Alters is going to be on the run for like an independent game. I've actually got it downloading now, so I'll have a review for you next week.
Very good. I think that Stellar Blade will definitely be up there because it sold. So it was, a lot of people loved it.
Oh, yes. We should talk about Jump Ship.
Yes.
Oh yes, please. Yeah.
Oh, that game. So for anyone of our 5 viewers who are watching, Jump Ship is a game that's coming out later this year that is a scavenger starship focused game.
Game of the year.
The demo is out now. We played, I think, about 3 or 4 hours of the demo. It is a great game that I am looking so forward to.
Yeah.
We'll take leave when it's released.
Honestly, like, well, jokes aside though, low key, I feel like that also could be a contender. I don't know how late it can be the entrances for Game of the Year, like a cutoff period.
When the last God of War game came out, it came out like 2 weeks before the Game Awards, and it was in there and won. I'm pretty sure.
That's fair.
I think they started their campaign early for that one though.
What, for God of War?
Oh yeah.
Probably.
Oh, absolutely, they did.
But Jump Ship. I just all I want to see the customization of the ship. That's what I want to see more of.
Yeah,
like the actual modules within the ship.
No, like the cosmetic aspect.
Yeah, I really enjoy.
We've only seen one.
No, but that's the thing. Like, I don't think they've spoken about it at all, but if they have it so there's multiple models of ship, I'm gonna cream.
There is it's in the menu when you talk to the guy. Right before the hangar, you can select which ship you want to look at, and then you can change all the colors and everything in there.
Cream. I'm gonna cream.
I definitely did enjoy it. It was a lot of game. Very good, very worth it.
I will say, however, it is going to be a game that you will probably need friends to play.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't like there'll be some sweats out there that will solo it, but for the most part, you need team.
It's going to be more enjoyable when you're in a dogfight.
Yeah.
One of you's piloting, one's in the gunner seat, and the other one's scrambling around putting out fires.
One's on the front deck trying to put out the fire and reconnect the thrusters.
Yeah.
One of my favorite moments was at the end in the final mission when me and Elite went into the ship to get the resources. And he's running out, I'm covering him, and then Strath is flying around and going a low orbit so he can pick us up. It was a pretty epic moment of just seeing all the ads running at us, covering in Elite, and then just trying to scramble to get to the ship before Strath gets blown up.
I think my favorite two features of the game, as we played it, which I hope, and I think they're going to expand on more. Actually, probably three. When you leave the ship and you can just fly around, that was super cool.
Yeah.
The grappling, where you can just grapple onto the ship and onto other enemy corvettes, that was really, really cool and interesting.
Yeah.
And the bit where if you're not seated when you hyper jump,
you just get turned to dust.
Get fucking crumpled.
Jelly donut.
Definitely worth it, and I'm very much looking forward to getting it and playing it again with you guys when it comes out.
I mean,
absolutely.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be a $40 game. Anyway, I don't think it's.
You know what? Game. Even if it's not, it's one of the few things that I've played recently that I can go, you know what? I'd happily pay the money for it.
Oh, I would as well. I mean, if they want a $80 price tag on it, and it means that they can improve the game and make a second one, or continually update the first one, I would pay it because I think it's worth the money.
But that's the thing. I don't care about paying $80 or $100 for a game. But it has to be worth it. All these reviews about Mind's Eye, the game's still $80 on Steam.
Yeah.
Whereas you look at Baldur's Gate, I was perfectly happy paying full price for it. Every dollar, every cent.
That's fair. And I've got it downloaded, and I'm looking forward to playing it as well.
Wait, you have Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, after playing Expedition 33, I kind of got a taste for turn-based, so I got that, and I also downloaded the original 2 Fallouts as well because I wanted to go through them.
Okay, well, I will warn you now. Baldur's Gate is another level of turn-based.
Yeah, no, it's a lot more of the old school turn-based, which is fair enough.
But in also saying that, it is also very heavily narrative-driven, and the narrative is just so good in every aspect.
Yeah.
Prepare to cry.
That's fair enough.
Prepare to sob.
Strath, who do we think Squid is going to romance?
I've raised it who I'm looking
I already know who he's going to romance.
Wait, is it Minthra?
Karlak.
Oh. I actually no, he wouldn't go for. I feel like he would go for Shadowheart.
Which one's Shadowheart?
The goth one.
I did, yeah.
He'd meet Mazora and have a meltdown.
I mean, the goth chick as well is up there as well. I mean, probably most of them. I mean, honestly, at this stage, I'm just going to do multiple playthroughs and just become Thanos and get all the baddies.
I had a moment. I had a moment when I was playing my first playthrough. Actually, I had two moments, right? The first one was because I was fully into romancing Shadowheart. And we got to one of the second camps in Act 2. Yeah. And then Will starts trying to romance me. And I was like, oh god, no. No. And it's not because he's a guy, it's because it hurts your reputation with them if you say no.
Yeah.
And I was like,
but I'm not afraid to hurt. I know it's not real people, but I'm not afraid to hurt somebody if I'm romancing a specific, unless me hurting them affects my interaction with them. But if it doesn't, then I'm like, bro, I don't care. Get lost.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's like a couple of things you can do where you. Oh, actually, this is something you should know before going in, Squid.
Yes.
Your actions with companions, you can straight up lose the companion. Like they can just leave.
Yeah, I kind of imagine that. Like, if you do things they don't like, they'll be like, "Nah, I'm out. See ya."
Yeah, I want to see Squid beat the Dark Urge.
It's like, I wouldn't say like, I know that it's not nearly as in depth as it, but like they sort of have a system, at least in like, I know people don't like about Fallout 4, where if you do things that your companion doesn't like, they'll eventually just leave you because they're like, look, I don't like what you're doing, and this is not what I want. So I think like sort of, I know it's not as in depth as that, but I get like the idea behind like you have to figure out what they like and dislike and do things they like and avoid things they dislike, because doing things they don't like make them sad, and that's not. I don't want to make them sad.
I mean, as long as if it's Gale, I'll make them sad. Fuck Gale.
Something else I want to talk about as well. Well, it's not me. It's Infernal yapping, but Pokemon. You mentioned you want to talk about Pokemon.
Oh yeah, I vaguely. Well, there's actually two things I want to talk about.
Okay.
And this
Yap away.
I think this will probably be the end as well because we're coming up on the hour and a half mark.
It's time flies. That's crazy.
Yeah. So first things first. As I said earlier, I wanted to play Pokemon, and I went on looking at the Switch games because I wanted to play Omega Ruby. Omega Ruby is exclusive to the 3DS. You can't buy a fucking 3DS anymore. Nintendo.
Not from normal. You have to go like Facebook Marketplace or something. Well,
no, but like I wouldn't trust that shit. Like you can't get a new.
You got eBay.
I don't know, but you can't get a new 3DS, and that like bugs me because none of it is backwards compatible.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my little rant.
Okay, fair enough. I thought I was going to talk about more, but fair enough.
Not really. It's like I don't have that much to say. It's just like
that's fair enough. You kind of made it that I thought you would. But that's fair enough. I understand.
No, I'm just like annoyed that they have all these Pokemon games that they could easily make backwards compatible, but they just choose not to, and it's an untapped gold mine of money.
Yeah,
absolutely, it is.
It's like
that is like
if you could. Because they don't even have to improve the graphics realistically. They don't have to make a new high-quality Pokemon game. Just update it so I can download Pokemon Red on my Switch. And people will be happy. Like, with the shitty pixel graphics.
You know what? Not releasing a collector's edition of, like, the last 25 years of Pokemon is the biggest fucking L.
Honestly,
like...
here's what you do. You drop a bundle of, every Pokemon game that isn't on the Switch. Let's say fucking $150, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Digital only, where it's just all the games. You pay it.
Yeah.
You get all of them. You can play them whenever you want. That's it. That would make so much money. But yeah, because the other thing I want to talk about, which isn't game related. I watched a movie.
Okay.
I don't think either of you will have seen this movie, but it came out on Netflix.
Probably not. I don't watch movies very often, but yeah. Go ahead.
It's called K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh, I have started watching it on TikTok.
My friend was talking about it, and she was saying that she actually likes it, and she's obsessed with it.
It is so good.
I have heard that my friend talking about it, she said it's amazing. It's like interesting.
No, but like, so without spoiling it, on the surface, it looks like a musical movie where it's like they just start singing and dancing. It's not. It's a really fucking goofy movie. And
interesting.
I didn't think I'd like the animation style because it's got that like fully 3D rendered look.
Right.
But it's really cool. and I was discussing this with someone else who's seen it. And we both agreed that it was a very sad moment when it's just a movie and not a TV series.
I feel like there's a lot of movies out there that should be a TV series or just a movie.
Yeah,
and then we've got abominations like Halo that came out. It's like, how?
Do not speak of the Antichrist before me. But so with this, the whole plot revolves around a K-pop girl band where it's like the 3 girls, and as the title suggests, they hunt demons.
Yep.
And then the conflict comes when a boy band arrives, but they're demons.
Interesting. Okay.
And you can get this by like reading the synopsis, and that's where the conflict is. But the reason I say I wish it was a TV show is because the characters are so good.
Yeah.
Like the 3 girls actually like have really endearing personalities and friendship. And you don't like, because you obviously see a lot of the main boy band guy.
Yeah.
And I wish there was more of the other boy band, because they don't really get characterization outside their initial showing.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, oh, it would be really cool if we saw more of the girl band just by themselves doing their day-to-day lives, and more of the guy band doing their thing.
Maybe it could become a TV series, you know.
I hope it does, because it
could catch a lot of attention to become.
It is number 2 on Netflix for movies in the world.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. Like some of these things that they sound really random and they're just really like odd, end up becoming like proper, you know, big things.
Well, I didn't think I would enjoy the movie because it looks stupid, but it's really good. I cannot recommend the movie enough.
I might put it to my. I don't watch movies very often, man, but I'll put it on my list and
Dude, it's
watch it
only
some
like
stage.
an hour and a half as well. Like, you and Miss Tonin could sit down and watch it. I think you two would enjoy it.
I mean, I enjoy a lot of things, specifically trash.
Yeah.
I've been watching bits and pieces of it on TikTok.
Yeah. Not your thing.
I mean, I don't hate it. Kind of reminds me of Sailor Moon, if I'm honest.
A little
Fair
bit.
enough.
Is a little bit without the magical girl aspect.
You leave Sailor Moon alone in this house.
I haven't watched Sailor Moon. I saw that there's a movie on Netflix. I was
Sailor Moon's
literally went to my hen's party as Sailor Moon, so
yeah, Sailor Moon's an OG, man. We don't talk about Sailor Moon.
I went to your hen's party as a chicken.
Yes.
And on that note, we're gonna draw this episode to a close, I think.
What an ending.
Unless Squid has something else he wants to say.
Yeah. No, not really, man. This is a lot more than I originally anticipated. I had 5 things I wanted to talk about, and we did a lot more than that, so I think it came out a lot better than I originally anticipated. I'm assuming next time will be a lot better because it won't be me planning.
Oh, I think it's my turn next week.
It sure is.
It is your turn, Big Rig.
Okay, so we'll next week will either be the anime episode or the episode where I go for the hinges.
Well, that's if we can get the
the
anime weeb, the degenerate weeb, risen to join us.
We need to get the resident weeb for the anime special.
I mean, I watch a lot of anime as well, but I think he doesn't do.
Yeah,
Start making the sacrifices because, like, I'm useless when it comes to anime.
Well, no, because the reason I want to get risen for the anime episode is because he lives and breathes anime. Like, he's on Crunchyroll every single day.
Yeah.
Where, me and you watch a lot of anime, Squid. I don't think Strat watches much anime.
No, I don't think she does.
I am very time poor. I don't watch much of many things.
That's fair enough.
That's fair.
Like,
but yes, I
want to say I watch a lot, but yeah, sounds good.
There will be mild homework for next episode if it's the anime episode.
Oh no.
But anyway, thank you all for watching this episode of Trail Mix. Be sure to check out Squid's Hentai.
What?
And be sure to hit up Strath for deals on fences.
Fantastic. Thank you.
We will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.